Team USA, they get the job done, but there are a lot of people to thank for this win. They ultimately win this game 67-66. This was an extremely low-scoring game against France. Now, guys, I was expecting this to be a close game, but I was not expecting it to be this close. Team USA absolutely gritted out a win when it didn't seem like they were going to win. Didn't seem likely at all. For Team USA, we had a starting lineup that normally starts, or at least has started the last several games. We saw Chelsea Gray starting at the 1 and Jackie Young at the 2. Nafisa Collier at the 3. Brianna Stewart at the 4. And Asia Wilson at the 5. Now guys, coming into this game, I was like, okay, whatever. That's starting lineup. But sure, we're going to make some adjustments. As the game goes on, we're going to be fine. It's going to be a close game in the first half, but it's going to open up in the second half, and we're going to be good to go. Guys, that was not the case. That was not the case. This game was way too close for comfort. Way too close. And it shouldn't have been that way. Guys, I have to say, like, I do believe, I 100% believe that, Cheryl Reeves is a fantastic coach. Cheryl Reeves is a very, very fantastic coach. She's great. She's great in the WNBA. For USA basketball, the last couple of games, I thought she was okay. I thought she did fine. In the semifinal game, the quarterfinal game, I thought she did fine. Today's game, I felt that there was mistake after mistake after mistake. I just don't get it. We set ourselves up to lose. We set ourselves up to get got because of the rotations that came in this game. It was ridiculous to me. It was ridiculous. We should have won this game by at least 15 points. At least. But we did not see that because Cheryl Reeve wanted a certain lineup in. She wanted a certain lineup in, and when we and it took us way too long to put certain players in. So Brittney Griner, case in point. Brittney Griner comes in the first half. She plays 4 minutes. She dominated in the minutes that she was in. There was nothing. She was the tallest player out there for Brittney Griner. I believe she's like 6'7" or whatever. She was the tallest person out there. All she had to do was turn around and shoot. She was scoring, and then what do? You take her out, and you don't put her back in. There's no word about Brittney Griner getting hurt. There is no word about something happening and Brittney Griner, needing to sit out the rest of the game. There's no word about any of that. No word about any of that. So from my perspective, Brittney Griner was fine. From my perspective, she was fine, and she doesn't play. What are you doing? It's to me, it is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane for Brittney Griner to only play. How many minutes she played? She played 4 minutes and 42 seconds. What are you doing? She had 4 points easily, and her impact was way more than 4 points. Yes, Brittney Griner is slower for the Olympic game, right? So you can't keep her in for a long period of time. But you can put her in 4 minutes at a time, have her dominate, take her out, give her some rest, put her back in. That didn't happen. She was really, really good when she was in the game in the first half. You take her out, and she sits, and she sits, and she sits, and she sits, and she sits. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? I mean, okay, like you have a player who is 6'8", 6'9", whatever you want to call that. She's not in the game. She doesn't play. She does not play. And you have team players who are turning over the ball left and right. You can't keep control of the ball. There was a period in this game where it was just crazy. It felt like almost every single time up the court, somebody was turning over the ball. Whether it was Chelsea, whether it was Asia, whether it was Nafisa or Brianna Stewart, everybody turning over the ball left and right. Alyssa Thomas, Jackie Young, everybody turning over the ball. It was not pretty basketball. It was ugly basketball. For the majority of this game, this was ugly. And yet, we didn't see as many rotations in the game as I expected. It took us until the second half to put Sabrina Ionescu in the game. It took us into the second half. And to me, two of the biggest failures, in my opinion, is the fact that Brittany Griner barely played, and you didn't even play Sabrina in the first half. Sabrina Ionescu was an absolute spark when she came in the game. Absolute spark. Yes, Sabrina finishes the game with no points. However, you saw the transition when she came in. You saw it immediate in the third quarter when she came in. Really, really nice passes. I thought she played great in this game. Where was she in the first half? On the bench. She was just sitting there. She was sitting there on the bench, just twiddling her thumbs, waiting for her turn. Waiting for her turn. I don't get it. I don't get it. Jewel Lloyd doesn't play at all. Now, guys, I am all for players not playing in the Olympics. Just because you're on a team does not mean you need to play. But if the players who are out there are playing like crap, why not put somebody else in? Have somebody else try to do something. Make something happen. Why not? But no, we don't get that. Nope. We don't get that. Instead, we get a sloppy play by Team USA. We get an ugly game. If France could have hit their shots, France was shooting some stupid shots. Some stupid shots today. If France actually decided to stop shooting stupid three-pointers and actually get smart shots up, yeah, they win the game. If France could actually hit shots, they win the game. Team USA does not win, all right? Team USA does not win if France actually hit their shots. If Marine Johannes, all those crazy three-pointers that she shot all game, I think she only made one of those three-pointers. If she hit some more shots, it would have been over. Team USA lucked out in this game. Absolutely lucked out in this game. At one point France was dominating the boards. At one point, they got old board. I believe in one possession, I believe France had like 4 offensive rebounds. Yes, they kept missing a shot and then kept getting an offensive rebound, but I was like, okay, Team USA, excuse me, when are you gonna get some rebounds? What's gonna happen? What are you doing? What are you doing, team? What are you doing? Ultimately, we do win on the rebounding front, 48 for Team USA to 39 for France. But there were absolutely some moments in this game where it was not good. It wasn't. We looked flustered. We looked out of sorts. And it just felt like we couldn't get a combination of players that really worked well until the second half a little bit. And in the second half, we saw Sabrina Ionescu come in the game. We saw Kalia Copper come in the game. And I felt like they really did turn it around for Team USA. A'ja Wilson, of course, is A'ja Wilson. We're going to get to A'ja Wilson in a second. But to me, yeah, Kalia freaking Copper. She put the team on her back. And I'm not gonna call her what A'ja Wilson called her, but Kalia Copper is that girl, and she absolutely made it happen for Team USA. Ultimately, getting Team USA the dub. Kelsey Plum was fantastic in this game as well. She did make some mistakes, but overall, she was a big bucket maker for Team USA. She finished with 12 points. KFC 12 points. KFC, it wasn't just the offense; it was the defense as well. That was just absolutely huge for Team USA. It was a team effort. It was ugly, but they did get the dub. I do want to walk through the end of the game, because to me this was crazy. This was a very, very crazy ending of the game. Guys, I'm absolutely gutted for Gabby Williams. Gabby Williams is a player who put everything on the line to try to will her team to win. Guys, we had 11 seconds to go in the game. 11 seconds to go. Team USA was winning 63-61. Kelsey Plum goes to the free throw line, makes both her free throws. She gets fouled. Gabby Williams fouls her. Kelsey Plum goes to the free throw line, makes both her free throws. Score is 65-61. France is down 4 points. 4 points. 11 seconds left to go. What do? They give the ball to their best player, Gabby Williams. Gabby Williams drains the three-point shot. Now, guys, it's a 1 point game. 1 point game. She drains the three-point shot with 5 seconds left to go. 5 seconds left to go. She drains the three-point shot. It is 65 Team USA, 64 France. Okay, 1 point game. You go from winning from being like, oh, I think we won this game, winning by 4 points, 11 seconds left, to it's a 1 point game, only 5 seconds left. All right, Gabby Williams drains that 3 point shot. So they have to get the ball back, right? So France fouls Clea Copper. Copper goes to the line, takes her time, hits both of her free throws. Okay, all of a sudden, 3 point game, guys. 3 point game. 67-66, guys. 3 seconds left to go in the game. 3 seconds left to go. Maureen Johannes throws a long pass to Gabby Williams. Gabby Williams drains the shot. But, guys, instead of France cheering that they are going to overtime, unfortunately, Gabby Williams, her foot was inside the three-point arc. It was an extremely long two-pointer. Extremely long two-pointer for Gabby Williams. Instead of getting a 3, she gets a 2, and Team France lose by 1 point to the U.S. Now, guys, I feel terrible for Gabby Williams because Gabby Williams put on a show. She single-handedly, for the most part, put on a show for Team France. She had 19 points for them, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. Gabby Williams, all Olympics. Gabby Williams has really been the end-all be-all for this France team. She averaged 15.5 points throughout the Olympics. She was 10th in scoring for the Olympics. She was a player that was not just an offensive player. She was a defensive player too. Offense and defense. She provided anything France needed. Gabby Williams, she provided it. And she was the spark for them. She was their catalyst to sort of get them to where they were. Gabby Williams was fantastic in this game. She's been fantastic basically the entire tournament. And it is so sad to see it end the way that it did. Of course, I was rooting for Team USA and I wanted Team USA to win, but just the way that she left everything on the line. She said, you know what? The Olympics is in France. I'm giving it all I got. I'm giving it all I have. And unfortunately, it was not enough. Gabby Williams, she should hold her head. She should hold her head up high because she played her butt off. She did. Now, guys, there's a lot of people who are asking, why isn't Gabby Williams in the WNBA? Why? Because of prioritization. I think that that's a big thing. That is a big thing. Prioritization is a new rule for the WNBA, which means that if you cannot make it at the start of training camp without some reason as to why you can't make it, if you're injured or something like that, or have a death in the family, that's an exception. But if you do not make it at the start of training camp for the WNBA, you are suspended for the entire year. That's an issue. That's why Gabby Williams is not in the WNBA, because she does play overseas, and her overseas schedule does at times interfere with the WNBA. It does. And so that's the thing. Gabby Williams used to play for the Chicago Sky a long time ago. She then played for the Seattle Storm as well. Now, Angel Reese was like, hey, come on, Gabby Williams, come on over. Come on over to Chicago. Come on over to Chicago. I don't think Gabby Williams will ever play in the WNBA again. I don't see it because of prioritization. But we'll see. We'll absolutely see. She definitely can't come back this year. But who knows for next year? Who knows? Now, Gabby Williams is fantastic. She just is. She is. TG with the soda says Gabby cooked up was just a tough break on her foot placement. Yeah. She gave it all she had. So yeah. Alexandra says Gabby Williams is unrivaled. She is. She absolutely is. Ghost says player unions should fight that. Why? It's actually the thing is, it's a good rule. The prioritization rule is a good rule. It really is. The reason why it's a good rule is because it actually allows teams to be able to make their decisions early. So in years past, I don't know if y'all remember this, but in years past, sometimes players would not get back from overseas until weeks into the WNBA season. So you would go through training camp with players that you know are not going to be on your final roster. They'd make the team day one. They'd be on the roster at the beginning of the season, while you wait for your players to come back from overseas. And then 2 weeks, 3 weeks, sometimes even 4 weeks into the WNBA season, finally the players get back from overseas, and now you have to waive a ton of people because now you actually have a team. Now you actually have your players back. Prioritization is a big issue in the WNBA, and it's a reason why they have it. They have it because you have teams that they don't have enough players, so they have to put players on the roster that's not going to be on the final roster, and it's just a mess. It's just a mess. So actually, prioritization is good. It's a good rule. It makes sense for the WNBA, but it just leads to some results like this where Gabby Williams can't play in the WNBA or doesn't want to play in the WNBA because of it. And Emma Meesseman, another player who won't do it as well because their number one priority is their overseas job, because for them it's not overseas. Gabby Williams, I believe, plays for Fenerbahce. So that's the thing. Ghost says, I hear you, but team's interest is not necessarily the player's interest. The WNBA is literally cutting into Gabby's earning potential. It's also kind of soft bigotry against international players. Ghost, but the WNBA, the whole purpose of the WNBA is to make money. WNBA is a business, all right? And another issue that the WNBA dealt with is while players were still coming back to return, fans weren't really in the stands, all right? Because why am I going to the first couple weeks of the WNBA when the best players on the team, we about to get killed because the best players on our team is not even here yet. So attendance goes down. Viewership goes down until a couple weeks in when everyone's back. So it's the WNBA is here to make money. It's not here to just do everything that the players want. Of course, you want to make sure the players are happy, but at the same time, it's better for your bottom line to ensure that players are actually here. Players are actually in the building, and you can work around that. So it's a reason for it. I don't think it's soft bigotry at all. I mean, leagues have to have rules. They're companies. They have to have rules. They have to make money. I don't think it's bigotry at all, actually, because a huge portion of people that was affected, it's way more American players that are affected than international players that are affected. Way more, because a lot of the American players play overseas. So yeah, I don't know. Ghost says, yeah, that's why we need strong unions. Quita, business and labor don't have the same interests. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but ultimately Team USA has to make money. I mean, not Team USA. Ultimately, WNBA has to make money. So, it is what it is. They gotta have some sort of rules around this, because if they don't, a month and a half, you'll see players arrive, and that's not fair. I don't think that's fair. So, you gotta players have to they have to make up their mind. What do you want to do? If you want to prioritize the WNBA, okay. You need to make a decision on the team that you go to, and make sure that they allow you to be back by the time the training camp starts. If the WNBA is a sad thing and you don't care that much, like Gabby Williams and Emma Meesseman and others, okay, well, whatever. The WNBA doesn't work out. WNBA doesn't work out. It's okay. It's not a big deal. FM, I completely agree with that. Says WNBA has a business. Overseas leagues have a business. Choose one. Maybe they both work out, but you have to choose one priority, and then go from there. There are players who are going overseas and they're also playing in WNBA, and it's working out fine, because some leagues have actually pushed forward their schedule so that way players can get back to the WNBA season. So some leagues actually have changed to sort of accommodate WNBA players. So yeah. All right, guys. It just means more. It just means more. Brittany Griner won a gold medal earlier today. And during the playing of the Star Spangled Banner, with her hand on her chest, Brittany Griner got very emotional. She got very emotional, and understandably so. Brittany Griner, it means more. Like the gold medal around her neck, the national anthem playing, the USA on her chest. It means more. The reason why it means more is because we all know the story about Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner is a player who was overseas in Russia. Um, you know, she was there for 10 months in a Russian prison. 10 months, um, and the USA got her out. The USA got her out, and because of that, she had like it means more to her. Her love for the country, it just means a lot more because they were there for her. Like the United States fought to get Brittany Griner back in the States. And the fact that she is now able to give the United States a gold medal, to her, it means a lot. And to be honest with you, it was really cool to see. It was really, really cool to see, the emotions flowing from Brittany Griner. She's a player that we don't really see emotions like that for Brittany Griner, and she let the emotions flow because Brittany Griner didn't know if she's going to come back to America. She didn't know. She in 2022 she was detained at a airport in Moscow. Um, you know, she had a little bit of hash oil, which is illegal in Russia. She had it with her, um, and she paid the price for it. She went to jail, uh, was in prison for 10 months, um, and ultimately, she was able to get a prisoner swap happen. A prisoner swap happened where you know she was eventually able to come back to the United States. And from there, she was like, "Well, I don't really want to go overseas like that unless I'm representing my country." And finally, she had that opportunity to. She had her opportunity to represent the country. Yes, Brittany Griner is not the same player she used to be. She's not. She's not the same dominant player who can give you 20 something points or whatever and make a lot of stuff happen. She's not, but she is still a really good player that can give you some really good minutes. And I believe she did that in the Olympics this year. I believe she did that. She also did it in the gold medal game. Yes, I believe she should have played way more. She absolutely should have played way more. Um, uh, Absolutely should have played way more in that game. But she didn't. But I think she gave some really good minutes for Team USA and made it happen. And she was emotional about it. She was emotional, and I, you know, it's one of those things where it's like I don't know, when you see other people get emotional, sometimes you get emotional too. And you're like, oh man, like it means so much to her. It just means more. It just means more. So shout out to Brittany Griner. Shout out to Brittany Griner. She came back to America off of a prisoner swap. And Go says, why don't you tell them about the other prisoner? Yeah, so the other prisoner was Victor Bout. I think that's how you say his last name. That was the prisoner that we swapped. I say that the United States swapped Brittany Griner for. Victor Bout is known as a terrible, terrible man, merchant of death, and that was the person that we swapped. That was the person that we swapped Brittany Griner with in 2022, I believe. So yeah, that's that's the thing. That's what happened. Brittany Griner is emotional because she's back in America. Well, not back in America. She's in Paris, but she's representing America. And she felt like like America really was there for her. And she wanted to sort of help to win this for the USA. So it just means more, and I just wanted to highlight that for Brittany Griner. Now, guys, I do want to talk about the coolness of Stooja. Guys, Brianna Stewart and A'ja Wilson, they have a long relationship. These players have known each other for a long time. They have represented Team USA for a long time. Absolutely a long time. And it's good to see. It is good to see them get the dub. Absolutely. Asia Wilson is great. Brianna Stewart is great. And both of them were able to help Team USA win a gold medal. So when we talk about Team USA, the best players on the team for sure is number one, it's Asia Wilson. Number two is Brianna Stewart. Number three, I would say, in my opinion, is either Nafisa Collier or Kalia Copper. One of the two. In terms of like just general skill level. Just general skill level. And in the Olympics, Brianna Stewart and Asia Wilson did their thing in this one. So when we talk about Asia Wilson, she was absolutely the player of the game today. She was the player of she was the MVP of the entire Olympic tournament. And guys, Team USA doesn't get stuff happening without Asia Wilson. Asia Wilson averaged 18.7 points in the Olympics. 18.7 points. She also averaged 10.2 rebounds as well. So averaging a double-double for Asia Wilson. 21 points in the final game against France. 10 points against Australia. 20 against Nigeria in the quarterfinals. And she did her thing in the group stages as well. Asia Wilson is Asia Wilson. She gets it done on the offensive end. She gets it done on the defensive end. She grabs the rebounds. And she absolutely makes stuff happen. So Asia Wilson does her thing once again. And her partner in crime, for Team USA at least, as usual, is Brianna Stewart. Brianna Stewart averaged 16.3 points a game during the Olympics. 5.3 rebounds, and 2.8 assists per game. Today against France, she was not that effective. However, she was absolutely impactful in a lot of the other games for Team USA this year, this Olympics. And Stuja, I mean, if you got Brianna Stewart and Asia Wilson on your team, I don't know, man. It's kind of hard for you to lose. It's kind of hard for you to lose